Yeah, I think the sensitivity is a really, really good word. We're much quicker to get to responses than anything else.
Yeah.
That's why it's hard to catch and why it controls us quite a lot.
Yeah. And at the root of that is something called neuroception. So neuroception was a term that was coined by Stephen Porges, who's really the sort of daddy of polyvagal theory. And the neuroception is essentially like our an internal surveillance system, and it's this unconscious ability that's it's always scanning the environment. So scanning the environment for safety or survival, or threat, if you like, and scanning ourselves internally, and then scanning people. So it's on 24/7, even in our sleep, 365 days a year. And so we're not thinking consciously about the response in our body, they're happening automatically. So if your neuroception, for example, reads a demand, or maybe you get an email in from a boss immediately, or maybe you're seeing a tone of voice or someone shifting in their seat in a meeting, or rolling their eyes at you, your system may immediately shift into fight, flight, or freeze response before your conscious brain has even had a say. Then we get interoception, which is like our kind of internal GPS, and that's our ability to notice what's happening inside of us. So the heart racing, the jaw tightening, the breath shortening. Lots of us with ADHD have a very disrupted or delayed interoception experience, and which is why we kind of get we forget to pee or we forget to eat. So we don't always notice what's kind of going on until we're then already dysregulated and we've misread those signals. So in our body, the state happens. So I'm sensing something's wrong, shift through some sort of interoception that might be slightly dysregulated and dysfunctioning, and then our brain makes the story, and we start to predict things based on a predictive coding that's happened before. This must be happening in the future, and that's when we get into the dysregulation or we get into anxiety.
Yes, I love neuroception. I always wondered, my whole life I can definitely pick up on any difference in somebody that, I know what they're like normally or traditionally, and it can be so subtle. I go, they're not quite right at the moment. And in a way, it's actually quite exhausting. It's quite tiring. Like, I just want to be able to just be in my own body and not. It's like that scanning, that hypervigilance is like, it's very present in my brain. It's like, hey, it's like, it's part. Does that make sense? And it's kind of like,
Yeah.
it's quite loud and I find it very exhausting. So I can't do anything social for too long because if I go to a gig or I'm in the cinema or the theatre, I'm trying to watch the show or the film or listen to the music, but I'm looking around me. What are they doing? Oh, well, they're moving quite quickly, or they seem a bit erratic. And sometimes I just don't go.